Pilar is a beautiful operation in the state of Goiás in central Brazil. And this is a beautiful 20-degree dipping mine. Just keeps running until it sort of pops its head out in Ballarat, Australia, because it's a massive resource. It will run for the next 30, 40 years. I would say initially I'll be happy with 1,000 ounces a month, then build it to 2,000 ounces a month, then 3,000 and back to the old 4,000 ounces a month. Look at some of the success stories you've seen now in Brazil, the market caps, the valuations. We're talking billions, and we're valuing this business at only 140 million Canadian. Seriously good upside. That's what we're all about, Stein. We're all about big returns for our shareholders. You're going to make 8 to 10 million a month of free cash flow. I guess you're buying this thing at less than 1 times PE for 2027. I mean, we are shovel ready. We have blasted material on the ground. We have gold in the circuit. We are shovel ready, ready to turn on. So just click on the link, the more button below, type in your name, your email, your number. We'll happily give you a shout.
Today we're having a chat with Jeremy Gray, the CEO of Pilar Gold. Jeremy, lots of updates to go through, a new mining fleet on the way, operational updates, an imminent gold mine restart and much more. But for anyone watching that might not be familiar with the story, perhaps we should start with a summary. What is Pilar Gold all about?
Thanks, Stein, and thanks for having us today. Pilar is a beautiful operation in the state of Goiás in central Brazil, 4 million ounce resource. We bought that off Equinox Gold in 2021 of April. 3 underground mines that are currently on care and maintenance. A world-class open pit project called Tres Barracas, which we think's got at least 400,000 ounces, very low cost to produce there, and a 4,500 tonne a day mill that's in mint condition. So ready to restart. And as you know, when you've been to site, our problem has always been that our fleet needs a significant upgrade. And that's what we're currently in the middle of right now.
So perhaps we should just get started talking about that, the fleet upgrade. What have you ordered? What is on the way?
Yeah, so we've always worked with Sandvik. We love Sandvik. We have an existing Sandvik fleet, but we're also trying to acquire a new fleet. And so I'd like to first thank JCHX Kevin from Beijing, who's we've acquired 2 307s, and you'll see those on your video now, and likely to acquire another 5 more later this year. They're basically what you call LHDs. They dig up the material underground and load it onto the trucks. So 2 brand new ones should arrive in the next 4 weeks. We have 3 older Sandvik fleet that are operating, but we also we need more of them. So Kevin and Sean in Beijing have been fantastic supporters. We even sent Richard Crew, our country manager, to China last month, and he was so impressed with what the boys are doing over in Beijing. A really exciting company, JCHX. Stein, the other very important partnership that we've formed, and we'll announce this, is in Peru, a company called Resumen, and also in Brazil, Sotrec. Resumen, James rang me. He is basically producers. We've ordered 2, one Troyden 66 XL Jumbo. So I need to look at this. I'm not good with memory on some of these names. So we bought 1 Troyden 66X Jumbo. You'll see that on the video. And 2 Raptor 55 112 fan drills. Now, that's really important for our underground mining. I'd like to order another 5 to 6 of those going forward, but that's a great start, and we expect delivery in 3 months' time. So it's all part of our repairing and remodernisation of our fleet that is so important to ensure that when we do start, we don't have constant breakdowns and downtime.
Excellent. Perhaps we can now talk about the restart plans. When would you expect to restart the Pilar Gold mine, and what should we think about production-wise numbers initially?
Initially, Stein, we were planning to start on fumes. And as I said in the last interview, we were going to basically get it going on a small volume. And then we decided, let's take a step back and really get the funding sufficient to get started. Now, we then went on a track of looking at debt as an option. And a lot of different groups approached us, but we decided not to proceed with debt because debt requires a company like ours to go and hedge a lot of gold, and we're very bullish the gold market. In fact, we did get a term sheet for 35 million US for debt, but they wanted us to hedge 25,000 ounces at $4,300 gold, and we're just not prepared to do that. So we're currently basically completing this funding round. We also have a very substantial stake in Liver Gold shares that start trading at the end of April, early May. And also Pilar owns nearly 13 million Chancery royalty shares, which are currently valued at $3 a share. So we've got multiple funding options now to basically allow us to start in Q3. We're going to go and start Q2. But we just want to take a step back, order more fleet, and do it properly this time.
And that is a very interesting point, Jeremy. Pilar Gold has almost no debt outstanding currently, which of course it means lower operational risk, but also it allows for flexibility in the future that you could still leverage your clean balance sheet and potentially leverage up a bit.
Yeah, look, we pride ourselves on having no debt in any of our 4 gold mining companies. That's including Liva Gold, includes Gold Road and Mina Ticano, the beautiful Mina Ticano. You've been to all 4 of our gold mines. But we're debt free. We also went through a very important JR restructuring process at Pilar. So basically, to take a step back, we were forced to close the mine in March of 24. Very, very painful. We ran out of working capital, couldn't keep the mine going. I couldn't raise money at the time to keep it going because the gold price was $2,000. No one cared about gold. Basically forced to restructure and go into a JR process that allowed us to restructure 60 plus million US dollars of debt down to 10. Importantly also, Equinox, we owed them, as part of that 60, we owed them 23 million, and they've very honourably reduced that now to 3.5 million. So it's given us ability now to basically get started, and most of that debt is not payable until years 4 to years 10. So we've got this wonderful now clean sheet. We have stakes in Chancery royalty, stakes in Liva Gold, and we have one hell of a bull market on our hands for gold. And $7,000 gold for us by the end of this year. To us, we're very confident about that call. We've made that call now for 6 months, and the way it's trading looks like a restart for Q3 for Pilar could be a perfect timing.
And Jeremy, how are you thinking about production figures for 2026 when you restart this mine in Q3?
Production will be slow at the start. So, we're forecasting, I would say initially I'll be happy with 1,000 ounces a month, then build it to 2,000 ounces a month, then 3,000, and back to the old 4,000 ounces a month. And that will all take time. We need to get crews, we need to get more fleet from Reserman, more fleet from our partners in China, more modernisation of the existing Sandvik fleet. So it all takes time, but then next year 40,000 plus ounces, and the year after 80,000 ounces. So the sky's the limit, right? There's so much potential. And if you go through each of those 4 mines, Pilar mine, it's been running for now 12 years, built by Yamana. All these mines were built by Yamana, and this is a beautiful 20-degree dipping mine. And I think it just keeps running until it sort of pops its head out in Ballarat, Australia, because it's a massive resource. It will run for the next 30, 40 years. And Stein, how many mines do you know that are actually producing and can produce for at least 30, 40 years? And that's Pilar. We also have Maria Lazara just down the road. It'll do about 15,000 ounces. Needs to dewater, needs work, needs fleet. It takes time. Kiama hasn't operated since 2016 by the then Yamana Gold. Beautiful, high-grade 3-gram operation, 40-kilometre truck. So it takes time. But also our world-class Tre Barracas, and you've been to Tre Barracas, right next to the mill. It's the outcrop of Pilar, 400,000 ounces, low strip ratio. You could IPO just that on its own for a $1 billion company with a mill. It's such a world-class open pit project. And eventually, I think Tre Barracas will probably overtake and maybe replace some of the production from the underground mines.
Yeah, that shows the incredible leverage you have with this hub and spoke model, where you can restart the high-grade mines, or you can go for the open pit project to get a lot of ounces into the mill. You can really play around with that model. And also that 4 million ounce resource that Pilar has. Which company has a 4 million ounce resource? It's truly outstanding.
It is pretty amazing. And to think that also that was done at a $1,600 gold price when that was modelled. If you were to drill Pilar further, if you wanted to spend that sort of money, it would be probably double that resource of 8 million ounces. An 8 million ounce resource just on its own without a mill gets you $1 billion market cap these days in the market. So this current round at 30 cents, Stein, values the group at only 140 million Canadian. And considering the stakes of Chancery and Liva Gold, 80 million of that. And that's the way we roll. We like to give our shareholders significant return on their investment.
And of course, with the resource, not everything is the highest confidence interval or the highest grade, but still, even if you were to discount that 4 million ounces a little at 80,000 ounces a year, which you hope to achieve in 2028, I believe, top of my head, that is decades of mine life.
Yeah, it will run for literally decades. And it's, look, this is a $1 billion company in the making. It should always have been a $1 billion company. We did have our operational problems back in early 22, where we were forced to close the business for 3 months, replace 14.6 kilometres of pipeline. I mean, it literally nearly bankrupted us, but we came back. We never gave up. We restructured the business. And then the market took off. And now we're in an amazing opportunity for our shareholders. And we want to bring employment back to Itapasi and the whole district at Pilar de Goiás. This is really important to us, and it's really important also to Chancery Royalty. Chancery Royalty's got an 8% royalty on Pilar, and in return, Pilar gets a very, very valuable stake in what is clearly the fastest growing royalty company in the industry. So that stake alone could be worth 200 or 300 million if we keep doing what we're doing in the royalty business. So really exciting times. And obviously, Stein, it helps when the market goes up. And I think with the problems with Iran and the big sell-off to 4,100, a lot of people froze, and we didn't. We just kept marching on, and we ordered that equipment. We kept going and kept going. And so we're not at all concerned about this market. If anything, it's ready to take off again.
Excellent. And perhaps, Jeremy, this is a great point to talk about the royalty for a second, because, of course, that stake in Chancery Royalty was acquired by giving a royalty to Chancery Royalty. What are the terms of that? How is it structured?
Yeah, so great question. So basically from Q2 of this year, the royalty kicks in and it runs for 8 years at 8% and then drops to 3% life of mine. But importantly, if we were to expand Pilar above 4,500 tonnes a day, which is, it should be expanded, it's undersized mill, then that expansion is royalty free. In return, Pilar gets just shy of 13 million shares. It's received $2.5 million of cash so far from Chancery. And if Pilar wants more cash, it can take more cash and a few less shares. And that's the beauty of having your own royalty business to fund this restart. It's also a block-in stake, because I can guarantee you the minute that we list Chancery Royalty in Q3, and we're going to announce the RTO vehicle next week, Chancery will be bid for by a Metala, a Vox, an Elemental, a Versamat, and that stake will become extremely valuable for Pilar to basically block it or accept a much, much higher value, which would be just a windfall gain for Pilar shareholders. So we've turned adversity into prosperity, and we've learnt basically you have to survive. When we went through those problems, you have to be nimble and think clearly. And I'm very proud, Stein, of the way that we have gone through all the problems at Pilar, survived, kept a pretty tight share structure, and now giving the shareholders an opportunity to participate at this current round. So really, a very emotional 5 years for us at Pilar, but we know we have a world-class mine, amazing management, amazing staff. We're hiring right now, and just an incredibly strong market in the gold market right now.
Yeah, if you guys are successful in restarting this mine, it's definitely a turnaround story for the ages. Incredible story would be. Jeremy, how should we think about profitability of this operation when you restart at 1,000 ounces a month and then process to 2,000, 3,000 and so onwards? How should we think about cost per ounce and profitability?
When you're running below capacity, your cost is going to be around $2,000, $2,200 an ounce. But as you build up back to 4,000 ounces, we'll go back to around $1,500 an ounce. So if you think about that, you're going to make 8 to 10 million a month of free cash flow, and that's just on the horizon. So at a valuation of only 140 million Canadian, I guess you're buying this thing at less than 1 times PE for 2027. So yeah, very profitable business. We're not reinventing the wheel here. This has been run by Yamana, Lear Gold, Brio Gold, and Equinox before we bought this. It was kind of handed around like a hand-me-down, but it's a beautiful business with a little bit of capital. Can become a world-class 80,000 tonne a year business and $1 billion market cap.
And what is the on-site status right now? What is the state of the milling complex? You mentioned earlier you're hiring. How's that looking like? Do you have the crew required to restart, logistics around it, etc.?
Yeah, Israel Oliveira is our general manager, doing a fantastic job with Dr. Carlos, with Wallacey, with Richard, but we're hiring management team now. We just hired Juliana Katrim, who left us when we closed. She's back now. She's our mine planner. We're also, the mill's in great condition. There's actually 400 ounces sitting in the mill that's in the cyanide tanks, the CIL circuit right now that we didn't recover when we closed the mine unexpectedly in March of 24. And we're, if you go on LinkedIn, you'll see that we are hiring. We want to bring the staff back. Obviously, a lot of them are moved to other parts of Brazil, but they want to come home to Itapaci, and it will take time. But look, when we just want to take it step by step, we don't have any debt. We want to do it properly this time and grow shareholder value significantly, like we've done with all of our other 3 gold companies. I mean, look at Tucana Gold. That starts producing at the end of April. It will start trading in the end of June. Gold Road, I mean, wow, you've been to Gold Road, starts trading in May. The beautiful Ivory Gold starts trading in 2 weeks. We're all about giving big returns to our shareholders, and I think this one at 30 cents a share is going to be a really phenomenal longer-term prospect.
And Jeremy, how much are you looking to raise, and how much is actually required to bootstrap a restart at 1,000 ounces a month?
10 million Canadian will get it started. We're raising 5 million Canadian at this round at 30 cents. Chancery Royalty is going to basically chip in for the balance. And we also have 6.2 million Live Gold shares that I think will start trading around $2 to $3 a share in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we're in no hurry to sell those, but they'll be a very important long-term holding for us. If we want to expand, if we want to buy more fleet, we'll maybe block sale some of those. So, we own 5% of Live Gold. We own 34% of Chancery Royalty in Pilar. So very valuable equity stakes for us to basically, tap into when we want to grow and not call on money for shareholders from Pilar. So really, it couldn't be in a better place. I think Pilar Gold is in the best place it's ever been since it was built by Yamana Gold in 2012. We just had a few bumps along the way, but we survived. And the name of the game, as you know, Stein, is to stay in the game. And we've definitely stayed in, and we held on, and we never gave up, and we're going to make this a tremendous success.
And please remind us at what price is this round occurring? What valuation does it actually result in? How does the cap table look like? Warrants, etc.
We have 370 million shares out, 100 million warrants, fully diluted. That implies a market cap of only 140 million Canadian, and the stakes of Liver and Chancery are worth 70 million alone. So our EV is 70 million Canadian for a 4 million ounce business. And you compare that with Sarabi, that's got a market cap of 500 million and a smaller business than ours, up the road from us. So that's what we're all about, Stein. We're all about big returns for our shareholders. And it's a very compelling valuation, but we just want to get it going, and we want to take advantage of this tremendous gold market. And we don't want to take debt. We don't want to burden this company with debt or with expensive hedging. Because let's say I hedged the other day 25,000 ounces at 4,300 gold, and then the gold market does run to 7,000. We'd look right, a bit silly, wouldn't we? We'd be suddenly down 60 million on a hedge, and we don't want that. We're not. That's just silly. That's why we always take things for the best interest for our shareholders. We prefer not to take any debt.
Could you remind us how anyone can reach out, find out more, and potentially participate?
Definitely, Stein. Just click on the link, the More button below. Type in your name, your email, your number. Ed, Max, Jamila, Eric, and I will happily give you a shout. We're very blessed to have 2,300 shareholders in our group of 6 companies. They've been tremendous supporters of ours, and a lot of Pilar shareholders have had patience and stuck with us. And I think that loyalty is going to be returned in spades now. So, happy to reach out and give you more information on what it is. Really the most exciting story, restart. It's the most advanced restart in Brazil. It's most advanced restart in the industry. People often abuse that term shovel ready. I mean, we are shovel ready. We have blasted material on the ground. We have gold in the circuit. We are shovel ready to turn on. So, and also let's be honest, Stein. Brazil is become a very hot piece of real estate. Look at G Mining Ventures. Look at some of the success stories you're seeing now in Brazil. The market caps, the valuations. We're talking billions, and we're valuing this business at 70. So, seriously good upside. And that we love Brazil. It's a much safer jurisdiction than the Spanish jurisdictions in South America. It's a proven story, and it's become a very hot piece of real estate.
Excellent, Jeremy. I would also love to talk about the long-term vision for a second. Of course, everything's taken a bit longer than expected, but now the other companies, like you outlined, Tucano Gold, Lifa Gold, and Gold Road, are really set to go public imminently. What is the vision here for Pilar Gold?
I think, Stein, when you start listing your other success stories and people start making 5 and 10x returns, a lot of confidence comes back, because at the moment, none of our gold companies are trading. And so no one really knows just how good these are going to be. Well, they do know, but they're just never sure, right? Until you see a print on your phone and what the price is and has a ticker, everyone still has doubt in their mind. And the reality is, we bought all 4 of those gold mines at cents in the dollar when no one was interested in gold. Let's be honest. They'll chase in lithium. They'll chase in Bitcoin. They'll chase in NFTs. They'll chase in everything but gold. And now we have 4 world-class gold mines, and this one I think might just be the best. So when the first 3 are trading, I think a lot of confidence will come back and go, wow, you guys are the ones who brought in 3 very successful new gold companies. And also, if you take a step back, I think there's only probably 10 gold mines starting in 2026 in the world, and 4 of those are ours, which is pretty amazing to think. Really incredible.
Truly incredible. Jeremy, thank you so much for your time and your insights today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stein. You're the best, mate.